Thunder, Cat, expand forever. My name is Chimoge, and also call me Moge. Welcome to the Hand of God, where I explain stuff I said before. Hand of God, Akua, the hand of this world, getting rid of ignorance. Let's go. Yes, I've been recording. Videos that are. Well, yeah, I've been recording videos, like pre-recorded ones, and I did a couple live streams over on Korea just to air stuff out. And I'm coming here to say something more particular. Let me wait till the 1 minute mark and then confirm I have an audience with a short. This is my Omenala Kabunam Noga, calling on my ancestors. Yes, alright, the short one up. Alright, let me get right into it. And for those of you who don't know me again, my name is Chimoge. You can also call me Moge. Given name Chimoge. Government name Chimoge Chijioke Ibe. Alternate white structured name Chimoge Chijioke Ibe Nwoku. My foremost nickname. Foreign name, my Ahambu is Moge. M-A-O-G-A-E. Shorter form of Chimoge, which is actually a better name, but it's not my given name, unfortunately. Anyway, given name is Chimoge. And then my being name, which I used to make music, is Nkworie, Nkworie. Check out that network. Anyway, that's why I am. Look it all up, you'll find me. And you can look up this network and just look on it. Anyway, what I mean, the God of Thunder is complicated. I made a video with that title. It's the latest one up on this network. Check it out. It's part of the Quince Alma segment. What does that mean? That means the great thing that begins your thought. My language. Anyway, complicated. Like the God of Thunder. Quince Alma is another name of the God of Thunder. What do I mean? The entity that can be referred to as the God of Thunder is not simple. Let me go deeper on that. There are many archetypes that are commonly referenced in popular culture, in what we call religion, in what we call spirituality, in what we call literature, in film, in art. These include things like the aforementioned God of Thunder, but also the God of War, the Goddess of Love. There's other ones like the Goddess of Fertility, Goddess of the Earth, things of that nature. God of the Sea, that's another one. When you look through all of these across culture, there are commonalities, right? Each culture, and I'm just using that term to be quick, it's not really metaphysically accurate. Each culture has different names for the archetypes and different takes on them. But even if you look within cultures, say if you look within what is referred to as Greek culture, there are contradictions within each conception of the archetype. Now, people have commonly taken that to mean the archetypes aren't real. I disagree. What I say is that people are too limited in their conception of the archetypes. I say that foremost, all of these archetypes, and let me get rid of that notification on my screen. Thank you for my viewers, I've registered them. I say, first and foremost, that all of these archetypes correspond to what we can call things. These are things that are so general that the best thing to call them is things. And within these things, there are many different people. Now, these people within each thing will have certain common criteria, which is why they're part of the thing. But they're not the exact same person. Common example, any human being is part of the God of Thunder to an extent, because our category of life is part of the God of Thunder. Shango, the expansion person, is also part of the God of Thunder. He's not a human being. So we have some commonalities with Shango. For example, leadership ability, right? That's another name for the God of Thunder, right? Our category of life, we're leaders of the earth. But obviously we're not all exactly Shango, okay? We're not like a spirit, you see. So, what does this all mean? When we're looking at these archetypes, one, we have to look at the information about them with respect. Because we live in a time when there's vast metaphysical ignorance. People do not know basic things. So when we're looking at information that has come to us from other times and other groups of people, we have to be open-minded. And part of that is we cannot just dismiss the information as soon as we hear something that does not align with our initial feeling, okay? Another way of saying that is We should not just dismiss a body of information just because we didn't hear about it in our, previous segment of thought, okay? Just because you didn't, hear about it around the campfire when you were 10 doesn't mean it's not something, okay? Just because you haven't watched the full TV segment on it doesn't mean it's not real, right? And then at the same time, when we're looking at these archetypes, because I'm going to limit myself to two major points here, because at the hand of God, I try to be brief. At the same time, when looking at these archetypes, we have to not just limit our examination to our imagination, okay? One example of this is animals. We should look at how these archetypes manifest in the animal world, and therefore we can improve our relationships and dealings with other categories of life. An example of this is Neptune, god of the sea. I am of the belief, based upon my spiritual revelation and also research, that the animal we call the wolf is a manifestation of Neptune, god of the sea. What does that mean? We have to understand that that is an extremely dominant animal, and that is also something that is within our thing of being as a collective, so we should respect it. I think currently that particular category of life is one we do not deal with well enough. I think, just because you run away from something doesn't mean you respect it. I think a lot of times, and this is just an example, when dealing with the wolf, we run away from it and then have some other people come and commit an act of evil against it. That's not how it should be dealt with. It should be dealt with more respect. Obviously, protect yourself, but do not commit acts of evil against them. There's ways to coexist, because failure to coexist with other leaders of the earth leads to destruction. That's my point. Let me take a slight break and then I'll make those points again. But anyway, the God of Thunder is the one, it's not my only focus, but it's just the one I focused on in that video. I'll go deeper. That video is really kind of experimental, but also I focused on the title. In particular, I want to look at the God of Thunder because I think that is the archetype that's been given the most shine. So when we're looking at other archetypes, other things in existence, it would be helpful if we could flesh out the information we have about the God of Thunder. Anyway. Alright. Let me concise those points and then make them. So what did I say? Be open-minded, look at the physical. I really made a third one there. I think I'll just leave that as a bonus. Let me also give that a bonus piece of information. Mercy, there, the bonus piece of information, grace, all the same thing. That's the love of the life of God of Thunder. Let me give out one. Play music that you like. Play music that you like. It'll make you happy. Something small, anyway. Okay, let me go. Once again, let me make this point. The God of Thunder is complicated. Why am I saying that? I'm using my examination of the God of Thunder as an archetype to look at archetypes in general. The God of Thunder is an archetype that is present in all cultures. I'm saying it like that for quick understanding. I just want to note that I don't think the term culture is metaphysically accurate in this case. But anyway, the God of Thunder is an archetype that is present in all cultures. It's present alongside other archetypes, but is by far the most fleshed out archetype, right? The God of Thunder, when examined, clearly does not refer to one person, as is a common misconception. It is a thing. Within that thing, there are many people and many things that are not people. For example, bloodlines, categories of life, actions, things of that nature. These things are all part of the God of Thunder because they exhibit common characteristics. What does that mean? Point one, when examining the God of Thunder as an archetype, we have to be respectful. Too often now, we dismiss bodies of information that are complicated, especially when they do not align with something we have seen before or studied in depth before. because of how vast the metaphysical ignorance is in the world today, that practice, that tendency has to go away. If we can examine that archetype across cultures and unite the information with the understanding that we live in one reality, we can learn a lot and help ourselves. Point 2, when examining the God of Thunder, we cannot just look at the spiritual, we must also look at how it manifests in the physical. The animal world is one example I've given before. A second example I'll give is in actions. The actions of being the overall leader, for example, that's an action. That is part of the God of Thunder. So we have to look at that and study that as well. When trying to understand things, we cannot just deal with distant ideas. We also have to deal with things we can touch and feel. And then to make a movement, start the movement, that examination of the God of Thunder has to be used to examine all other things and archetypes. Anyway, that's my explanation. That's what I mean when I say the God of Thunder is complicated. Just to add some things in it. If you have Neptune, God of the Sea, I just saw the number 1111. Let's make a wish. Let's all come to greater understanding of metaphysics. Man forever. If you have a person, a expansion person like Neptune, God of the Sea, a different one like the Father of the Soil, Pain, and then us, the gods of heat. That's what I call our category of life, all part of the God of Thunder. That thing is not simple because those things all have significant differences. If the wolf and the human being are both part of the God of Thunder, that is not one person. It's not simple to understand. We have to examine it clearly and come to a greater understanding of life. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is CHIMAOGE. You can also call me Moge. Please like, share, and subscribe. Patronize my business. And let's all come to a greater understanding. Thank you very much.